Hello and welcome to the History Scene Easter Special. Today I should like to invite you on a journey of discovery of some of the most wonderful traditions and observances of Easter. Easter for Christians all over the world is the most solemn feast of the liturgical calendar, as it marks the resurrection of Jesus Christ following his crucifixion on Good Friday. The imagery of Christ's passion, his trial at the hands of Pilate and the Jerusalem mob, is indeed horrifying. Yet Easter is also a time of great joy for Christians, as it celebrates hope, life, and renewal. Associated with Easter are many solemn observances that lead to Easter Sunday, as well as many traditions that reinforce the significance of the period. Falling during the height of spring, Easter is a time of hope and renewal that is also symbolized by Easter eggs, spring lambs, Easter bunnies, and beautiful spring gardens. As a backdrop to our journey, we are heading to northern Poland, to the beautiful Oliwa Cathedral in Gdańsk. Notwithstanding its distinguished history, its 23 altars exhibit some of the most poignant imagery of Easter, which makes this the most appropriate place from which to present our journey through the Easter season. The Archcathedral here in Oliva in Gdańsk dates back to the 12th century, but was completed in the late 14th century. Though essentially a brick Gothic church, it has numerous Baroque and Rococo features. Its impressive interior houses over 20 altars, each of which is adorned with magnificent works of art, the highlight of which is the high altar. Oliva Cathedral of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary is a remarkable example of both architectural and historical significance. The cathedral's construction began in the 12th century in Romanesque style and was completed in the late 14th century in brick Gothic. It was later, however, expanded and renovated, incorporating elements of Baroque and Rococo design, which makes it a fascinating blend of different architectural periods. As we enter the cathedral, we leave the post-Christmas festivities behind and begin our Lenten journey. The last day before Lent is Shrove Tuesday, which marks the last day on which one can feast, with pancakes or other rich foods. In Poland, a related celebration falls on the Thursday before Ash Wednesday and is called Fat Thursday. Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of Lent, during which ashes are received on the forehead in the shape of a cross. It is a powerful reminder of human imperfection, especially when the priest utters the words upon reception of the ashes, "From dust you came, and to dust you shall return," which calls people to humility, reflection, and a fresh start. Lent is a 40-day journey leading up to Easter, which commemorates the time Jesus spent fasting in the wilderness and being tempted by Satan, as recorded in the Gospels. It is a period of abstinence during which people might give something up or take on something meaningful or perform acts of charity. It is a sort of spring cleaning for the soul, if you like. In the final 2 weeks of Lent, on its 5th Sunday, the tradition is to veil the pictures and statues in churches, and hence this period, up until Easter, is called Passiontide. This tradition is to alert the faithful that something different has arrived in anticipation of Easter Day. Upon entering the basilica, one is greeted with a long central aisle and a magnificent Baroque interior, with its intricate details and expansive design. One such detail is the magnificent collection of Stations of the Cross, affixed to the walls of its central nave. Praying during Lent by Stations of the Cross is an old Easter observance that commemorates the events of Good Friday, particularly the final hours of Jesus' life. The stations consist of 14 moments, which are depicted in artistic form in churches or sometimes outside in chapels, each one representing a significant event that occurred on the way to Jesus' crucifixion, from his condemnation by Pilate to his burial. The Via Dolorosa in Jerusalem is the processional route that Jesus took to reach Mount Calvary, where he was crucified. The observance encourages meditation on the suffering and sacrifice of Christ, as well as reflection on themes of injustice, forgiveness, and redemption. The cathedral is also home to a rich collection of religious art, much of which is incorporated in its 23 unique altars. Mainly Baroque and Rococo, they reveal various scenes of the lives of Christ and the saints. Palm Sunday marks the beginning of Holy Week, commemorating Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem before his crucifixion on Good Friday. On this day, Christians remember how the crowds welcomed Jesus with palm branches and proclaimed Hosanna in recognition of him as the Messiah. A central part of the celebration are Palm Sunday processions, when congregations gather to carry palm fronds or branches that have been blessed, reenacting this biblical event. These processions symbolize the people's recognition of Jesus as King, but also serve as a reminder of the stark contrast between the joy of the entrance to Jerusalem and the suffering that will follow. The day sets the tone for the solemn reflection of Holy Week, leading up to Good Friday and Easter Sunday. Many of the images and sculptures of the altars and of the cathedral chapels resonate with the Easter story in magnificent form, depicting Christ's passion and resurrection. The most notable of all the cathedral altars is the high altar. Dating to 1688, it is one of the most profound works of Baroque art in the region. Christ's Passion is marked by the 3 days of the Easter Triduum, which begin on the evening of Holy Thursday, which commemorates the Last Supper, and moves to Good Friday, the solemn remembrance of Christ's trial, crucifixion, and death, and then the Easter Vigil on Holy Saturday night, which celebrates Christ's resurrection from the dead. The Triduum is a profound and sacred time of reflection, prayer, and anticipation that is often marked by dramatic theatrical passion plays on Good Friday, which offer an opportunity for deep contemplation and spiritual connection during the holiest time of the Christian year. One of the most outstanding features of Oliva Cathedral is its magnificent organ, dating to the 18th century. The organ is renowned for its exceptional sound and is considered one of the finest in Europe. It has 83 registers, over 5,000 pipes, and 3 manuals. Adorning the organ's front are Rococo sculptures and moving angels, clutching bells, trumpets, stars, and suns. At the time, it was the biggest organ in Europe and most probably the whole world. Easter egg painting is one of the most enjoyable traditions of Easter. The egg symbolizes new life and rebirth and ties in beautifully with the message of Easter, Christ's resurrection and the promise of new beginnings. Early Christians adopted the egg as a symbol of the empty tomb, and over time people began decorating them to celebrate the season. The painting of eggs is associated with the blessing of Easter baskets, usually on Easter Saturday. The tradition is particularly prominent in Eastern Europe, notably Poland. These baskets are typically filled with eggs, meats, bread, cake, and other Easter foods, after which they are taken to churches to be blessed and then placed on Easter tables in family homes. Today, Oliva Cathedral is not only a place of worship, but also a symbol of the city's resilience and heritage. It continues to be a testament to centuries of religious devotion, artistic achievement, and the dynamic history of Gdańsk. And so we come to Easter Day. This event is the cornerstone of the Christian faith, symbolizing victory over sin and death and the promise of eternal life. The day offers a powerful message of renewal, hope, and the triumph of life over death, inspiring people to live in the light of Christ's resurrection and share in the joy of the empty tomb and his eternal victory. It's a reminder that no matter how dark things get, light always returns. Thank you for joining me on this Easter special, and all that remains is for me to wish you all a very blessed and joyful Easter.